I met a gypsy.
What excites you the most about it?
So I knew my goal was to come over here. If I get a title, like my goal was to come over. Even though I had to make the decision before that, but so I was like, if I need to just make a big change like this, I just go like full change, new team, new colors, everything need to be changed. I knew I wanted to change bike, want to try something else, and Kawi has a very good bike, so I want to come here and win also. So I feel like with Kawi, I had better tools to make it happen.
Yeah. Did you ride the bike before you signed with them? Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Fair enough. Don't worry about it. Don't forget that question.
Yeah.
It is a really good bike though. I rode it.
It is.
I rode it the first time for the shootout last year when we compared all the it was with Swap Moto and we compared all the 450s.
Right.
And
That's cool.
I loved it. Like I thought it was good. The stock bike is not very powerful. Like if you go from a Yamaha 450 to a Kawi 450, massive difference.
Oh, really?
Big difference. But at a level of a factory bike, it doesn't matter at all. Like it's just not even a thing.
I mean, I told the guys from Kawi, I'm like, hey, I love power. Make sure, I get a bike with a lot of bottom power and stuff because I'm really easy on the throttle. So if I don't have power, I need to, just rev it more, and it's not my riding style. So when I got here, and because I did already like a week of testing Supercross, and I think it was the third day, they said, hey, we have 1 second bike for you. And man, I mean, like, this bike is too much power. It's like with this bike, you can quad everything. I don't need to quad everything right now. It's like easy. So, I mean, we have everything we need, I was not worried, but I'm like, hey, I've been always riding the same bike with the same brand, and KTM is known also for their power, right? We had such a good engine and easy engine, right? You could go on the throttle and it's just a smooth,
third gear everywhere. Yeah.
Easy. Or even if you stick in second gear, it would, let you rev the bike and still be smooth. So I was kind of worried about that, but not worried at all. I tried the bike and I was actually very impressed. Very impressed about just the whole package. I think like the Supercross bike from Kawi is just amazing. I was surprised, like really surprised. And it's not easy because I really know what I like. And as soon as I got on that bike, I felt super comfortable. So it's crazy.
I had a couple friends tell me that on your second day of riding, you were very fast. I was like,
I don't know.
Well, that's what I heard. Everyone's like, dude, Prado actually looks really good. And he's only been on the bike 2 days.
I felt very good.
That's awesome.
Felt very good. Especially through the whoops. That bike doesn't move. As if you get faster and faster, it's just better and better. So if you just get faster entry speed, bike would react even better to the whoops. If you get faster into the corners, bike would be even better. And then I think like the group of people that it's around, so just like the team itself, it's very professional. Yeah. They have a very good structure. And I think it's helping to get to the level they have right now, like the bike setup, right? I did a few days of testing, like I said, and just when I was worried about something, like, hey, suspension is doing this and this, can we maybe fix that? They would go on the computer, check everything, talk to everyone, and okay, make the change, and it would click, like, directly. Like, exactly what I was saying, they can change that, and I was really surprised about that. For sure, it's not going to be like this always, but, I mean, it's already a good start. If every little thing I say, we can get it fixed, it's crazy. And like you said, I felt very comfortable very quick, but, still all year long in front of us, and we just need to take it step by step. We don't want to make any...
Yeah, you don't want to get overly excited.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy because new bike, you feel great. New team, everybody's happy. You're happy.
Yeah, honeymoon period. Yeah. This is like a new girlfriend, bro. First 3 months, she's perfect.
Yeah, but you need to keep the spark, right? So you need to keep going easy, not too fast in the beginning, So, just taking it easy and enjoying it because this year has been, what a year.
Full on,
Stressful for me. So stressful because I signed a deal already in Argentina with Kawi. So it's been
Yeah, I heard a long time ago.
it's a long time, and I didn't want to come over if I wasn't world champion. But once it's signed, it's signed. Like I knew I was gonna come at the end of the year. Like I was flying to the US and starting with like a new adventure. But I wanted to be world champion. I didn't want to come over as second in the championship. So
Why was that important to you? You've already won one.
I know, but last year people could say it's not more about the people, but more for myself because it's also true. Last year, Geyser was injured. Jeffrey got injured halfway season, even though he was second when he got injured. But anyway, this year I had everyone on the gate for every single round. So I just wanted to prove myself that I can be the best. Doesn't matter the situation. And it was a weird year because I just knew I was going to get the title all the time. You can ask my team, everybody around me. I knew somehow I was going to get it. But in some situations, I felt like, wow, this is getting hard. Like Majora, like losing my seed in Arco. I lost so many points. The mud race is suddenly like 15 minutes before the race, just pouring rain and track floated, and I'm not that good with mud. So things were just getting difficult, but somehow I still was like, I think I get it done. I'm way better than last year. I should get it done. And going back to your question, I wanted to come here as a world champion, not as second in the standings or third,
What stands out to you the most?
So when you ride, for example, with the Gas Supercross, it almost feels like it's a different sport than when you do it with the Kawi.
Yeah, really.
Really.
Really? No way.
So when you face like a rhythm section with the gas, you're like, all right, let's see if I'm not too short or too far. Like you're like, brap, you jump and you're kind of careful. And then if you come too short, it will kick you a little bit. If you're too far, you need to kind of stop. Or that's what I felt. And then if you need to move the bike from like on a rhythm section, like from left to right, it's like heavy, like heavy feeling. Like if you are riding a 500, it's like a heavy bike. Also in the turns, it just feels like it's too big. Like if it's like the corners fell very tight.
Yeah.
And with the cow, it is like if I'm riding a 250 with a lot of power.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's light. You can left, right. I can scrap again. Like with the gas, it was very difficult to scrap on a Supercross track.
Yeah. Okay.
I can go flat with the Kawi. It's just light. It's just a light bike. Turns very good. A lot of traction. In the whoops, it's just so level all the time. Just the balance is so good. But all right, we're still in the beginning of the season. Everything can happen. My speed is for sure not the best right now. It's not bad, but I for sure will get way faster, and maybe as I get faster, the bike will
more problems will start to come up.
Exactly. But it's good that the first impression of the bike is so good.
Yeah.
That's very important. I didn't have this last year.
The biggest thing that I noticed on a stock Cowie, because I think that there are things that translate from a stock, like the stock bike, the bones, the skeleton of the motorcycle. It's the same on a gas. That's one of the cool things about.
I feel maybe here in the US, but not in Europe.
Because you guys are on like factory.
Yes. For example, my frame, my gas frame,
completely different.
It's completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like it was like the factory edition, kind of like in something like that, but not the same. Still not the same. I was the only one riding that frame in Europe.
Okay.
All the rest were riding a different frame. Like I feel like the bikes here.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I rode all those bikes together, the biggest thing that stood out for me on the Cowie, it was the Cowie and the Yamaha were the two best bikes of lean angle traction.
All right.
So as I leaned over, I felt like I still had traction on the Cowie.
I have these two in the Cowie.
The Cowie was the top. The Yamaha was the second for me on that.
Yeah.
And I had so much more lean angle confidence. And that's, for me personally at least, that's the thing I really struggle with. Like to lean the bike over when there's bumps, that to me is like, I mean, it's probably where everyone struggles basically, but I don't have that much confidence in that. And so I really, really want a bike that lets me lean over and absorb the small bumps. And it's more so into the turn.
Yeah.
Out of the turn, I feel like that's where the rear end of the bike comes into play a little bit more. But I felt on the Cowie straight away, I could dump the thing over and I still had traction, and it gave me so much more overall confidence.
Yeah, like going back to the MXGP season. So we did 2 rounds in Indonesia.
Yep.
So the first round was one way, and they changed the. So the second round was the same track, just the other direction.
That's insane.
With little bit modifications to the track, a little bit. But somehow, round 2 in Indonesia, the whole track was kind of like you said, like an angle.
Yeah.
It was not like turn straight. You were always kind of turning everywhere. Oh, I struggled so much. It was probably the worst race for me this year. Yeah. I just couldn't ride it. I was losing the front the whole time.
And there's nothing worse.
I just couldn't go on the throttle. I just couldn't brake. I just couldn't do anything because I was losing all the time. The front, I just didn't have feeling. And then, for example, now this week riding the Kawi test track, we have some corners where you, for example, land and you're leaning already into the corner, and I'm like, I think I'm losing the front, but the front is sticking to the ground so good. I just kind of my mind still thinks I'm on a KTM, and it's like, oh, but nothing happens. You know what I mean? So I was quite impressed about that too. And now it's funny because you said the same thing. Just when you're kind of like turning.
Yeah.
And the bike's still planted to the ground. This is important too because you can stay on the pegs too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't need to sit
maybe
down.
Not so much me, but maybe a bit more you.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.